In our previous videos, you have seen how some students are facing to start a bachelor thesis under a global pandemic. But now we also want to know about how it was finishing it and see if this can help to the students that are now developing their works. For that, Teresa Compagne and Núria Moya joined us today. They are already biomedical engineers and presented their bachelor thesis last year. Teresa studied the structural heart disturbances that led to its failure associated with different pathologies, while Núria Moya developed a computational model to predict the origin of cardiac arrhythmias. Welcome you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to start by emphasizing that when you start your bachelor thesis at the end of 2019, beginning of the 2020, none of us was thinking about the possibility of a global pandemic. In that way, did your work make a radical change in March when the pandemic highly affected Spain?
Well, I had the all the work planned, and as your colleague said, I was doing cardiac modeling, so I had the 3D models already done, but I had to do the post-processing and the simulations, and I couldn't do it before March.
Yeah, so in my case, the pandemic doesn't affect my work, but my way of working, because in my case, I was doing an abroad experience in Switzerland at the PSI, and so I could continue without problem, but here in Spain. So this was the big change.
So I see your work was not really affected, but how did you manage to the new requirements of the pandemic? I mean, being under quarantine, accessing the facilities you may need, making new contacts, or even talking to your tutor for meetings. How did you manage all that part?
Yeah, so in my case, the communication was still easy because my tutors were super kind. But and I had access to all the resources in Switzerland through the VPN, so this was not a problem. The problem maybe was contacts. I mean, I didn't did lots of contacts, and also I think that I missed having more the practical and technical side of the synchrotron, which was part of my work. I didn't receive it.
Yeah, well, in my case, I missed the accessing facilities a lot because I had to adapt the computer programs that I needed to carry on the simulations and the post-processing. I was supposed to do all these things in a computer from the university, but I had to do it in my laptop. So my laptop couldn't manage a lot of things, and I had a lot of informatical issues, and I spent a lot of time trying to solving them, and also I had little help because my tutors and the people that were helping me didn't know how to fix this stuff.
Now we all have more experience on working remotely. That's why we would like to know if, with your current knowledge, would you change any part of the methodology that you use to move on with your work?
I think that I try to solve all the problems one by one and looking in a perspective view. I think that I should have sent emails with all the doubts that I had and not wait one by one till the end, because people were not answering really fast. So this took a lot of time.
Yeah, so in my case, everything was more or less as planned, and everything went more or less smoothly. So I think that given the circumstances, the things were quite good.
How was it to defend your thesis in an online session instead of giving the typical face-to-face presentation as the Pompeu Fabra University used to do each year until last year?
I really miss it. I mean, so the platform and everything was good, but I know that it was my first and last bachelor thesis because at least in my plans there's not like another degree in the future, like. So yeah, it's the only time I did it, and I did it online. So yeah, it's a feeling of sweet and sour, but yeah, I mean, it's what it is.
Yeah, I think it should have been better to do it like face to face, but I think that nowadays, like, the new way of working is doing online meetings, and maybe the defending the bachelor thesis online prepared us in some kind of way for the online meetings that we will do in our jobs.
Would you like to emphasize some facts related to your experience of the development of your thesis, or gives like some kind of advice to the current undergraduates?
I would give the advice to insist a lot and to ask for help, because like stay if you are in the same workspace with whoever is helping you, it is easy to go and ask for some little question, but maybe you won't send an email and you don't like to bother your tutors or the people that is helping you. But I think that to carry on your work and to like improve your experience and your work, you should insist a lot.
To be constant and to be patient, because normally things never like come out right at the first time, and maybe not the second one and not the third one. So just be constant, be patient, and try to believe in your work, in your project, and go for it. I mean, and at the end, like, results are not the more important part. So if you have results, that's good, but also like the whole process is important.
So thank you very much, Nuria and Teresa, and thank you for your time.